Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave coming at you live from Germany for your Dead on Dave Live tonight. That's right, you guys voted what I was going to do tonight, and this is what you chose. So if it sucks, you only got yourselves to blame, mother fuzzers. We're doing live viewer questions, and we're talking about one of the biggest topics that are happening right now on the platform. That is, of course, YouTube being evil. The party's over. Turn off the lights. Everyone's done. We're all leaving. It's over. This isn't even on YouTube. You think it is, but it's not. Everybody's freaking out, and everybody's stupid. I mean, at the end of the day, people are really freaking out over a lot of weird stuff right now. Look, I think some of it is legitimate. There are some concerns out there with the definitions that are being placed upon YouTube at the moment. There's a lot of stuff being said about YouTube as far as what it's doing, what its practices are. Does it hate the gay community, and all of that stuff? There's all kinds of questions that are being brought up at the moment. And I think for its part, YouTube has done a good job of kind of putting those things to bed, putting them to rest, and not allowing them to write a narrative that may not be true. Because if you watch YouTube, you see how much they do highlight the LGBT community and all of that. There's really not a lot to it. This all, of course, comes down to restrictive mode. Everyone's freaking out over that evil restrictive mode. The thing that has been around since 2015. People are all freaking out right now and saying it's the reason for everything that ails you. It's the reason why everything on YouTube is going to shit. It's optional. It's a parental control. It is what I like to call a pussification button. That's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Guess what? Guess who else is restricted under restrictive mode? Me all the time. Why? Because kids shouldn't probably be watching my content. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay if there are soft individuals who happen to be parents and are soft parents or just responsible parents and don't want their kids inundated by this sexy, beautiful, fat man that has a very bad mouth. I get it. I'm okay with that. But here's what bothers me is that all of these different minority groups or oppressed groups or fringe groups or whatever we want to refer to them today, depending on what's the acceptable term, it's to now state that it's important because it's happening to you is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Drew is sharing, says restrictive mode has been around since 2008. Well, not according to the way that it's written now. I mean, YouTube says 2015, but if you say 2008, good on for you, buddy. It's completely fine with me. I don't care. Not the first time I'll be wrong. Certainly won't be the last. Point is, it's been around for a long time. And the current iteration of exactly what it's doing at the moment has been around and updated since 2015. So at least that's what YouTube is touting. So not a big deal there. The point is, it's been around for a long time, and people are now touting it as the reason why YouTube should be held accountable for its hate mongering, that it's targeting these groups. But they didn't care when it was targeting the other communities, the commentary community or any other gaming channel or anybody who has made a living on YouTube. But I don't know, PewDiePie, for instance, who has probably got a hell of a lot of videos that doesn't show up under restricted mode. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What's the problem? And why are you being so concerned now? Because it's happening to you. Where was your false fucking outrage when it was happening to the rest of us? Because you didn't notice it until this fucking now. Until guess who? Us commentary people let you know that it was happening. You fraudulent fucks. Disgusting. Disgusting. Now look, a lot of the original craziness that was happening has subsided. A lot of YouTubers are now speaking out and going, wait a second. Maybe this isn't too bad. Maybe this isn't the worst thing in the world. Maybe there is some overreaction here. The funny thing is, it might be too late. It might be too late because this narrative has spawned something else. Because when you open a door to something, you then allow other people to find things that are wrong with other situations. Ginger Dude 1010 says the fact that informative videos on LGBT culture are restricted for children speaks to a political ideology. No, it speaks to an advertising ideology. See, that's what people are not fully understanding. Now, yes, but that's the thing that doesn't make sense about a political ideology here is YouTube's left-leaning. That's their people. It doesn't make any sense. But it does make sense to an advertiser revenue. And that's where the story actually turns interesting. And that's why I'm talking about this today. Because that's where this is all being molded down to. This is an advertising problem. It's not a political problem. It's nothing of the sort. Because like I said, YouTube's left-leaning. That's who they acquiesce to. I mean, historically. So why would it be that all of these LGBT channels and stuff are under restricted mode? If that were the case, Dave, well, very simple, because even in this age and culture, the reality is many major advertisers out there, the McDonald's, the Pizza Huts, the Wendy's, no matter what they say publicly, fact is they know the safer route is to have those things not being in the same category and being advertised. They don't want to be associated with it. They just don't. There's just, and maybe there are more that are willing to, but a vast majority, at least the ones that are willing to pay the top shelf advertising money, they don't want to be. Everybody thinks that YouTube is beholden to us. They're not. They're clearly not. Yes, we are what makes YouTube YouTube. YouTube is not, they're not entertaining anybody. We are the content creators, some of us better than others. Fair enough. But the fact remains, YouTube is not doing shit. It'd be us, but they're not beholden to us. They have a boss. The advertisers. The advertisers is what makes this entire thing profitable for us, not them, because they're still operating at a goddamn loss. Minor, albeit, but still a loss. But it's the advertisers that allow them to continue to have influence, which is what YouTube is truly about. If YouTube started losing all their advertising revenue and they weren't able to at least stay close to break even, well, then all the influence in the world, which is starting to die out anyway, wouldn't make this worth it, would it? Not if you're losing millions of dollars. You got to remember, they're making $4 billion with a B. YouTube makes $4 billion for Google. $4 billion. You know how much of a percentage that is of the revenue of Google? 6%. It's a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in a bucket. But if the heads over at Google find out that that 6% is completely down the toilet, well, losing a full 6%, that's enough to drive shares down. That's enough to drive stock interest down. That's enough to really make people start wondering if you are the superpower that you claim to be. So it's in the best interest of Google if YouTube stays strong. And YouTube needs to stay strong by keeping the advertisers happy. And the thing is, and I alluded to this already, YouTube did respond, and I think they did a very good job. I don't need to read it to you. I retweeted it. You've seen it enough that it makes complete sense that they have shown once again that they have offered nothing but support of the LGBT community numerous times. The fact that this optional function does restrict their content means nothing because, again, it's optional. And the fact is that even though you think that everybody should be as open-minded as accepting of your ideology, whatever that may be, that's simply not the case. And the option should fucking exist that if there are parents out there who don't want their children inundated, there are children who are easily manipulated, not manipulated, but molded, turned, influenced, there's that word again, whatever you want to call it, into a certain way that maybe those parents don't want them to go. We talk about it all the time. We've said this on this channel, that parents need to be more interactive. Well, this is a tool for them to take more responsibility. Had I known about this tool, and I'll go back to telling this story once again, had I known about this tool 2 years ago, my kid wouldn't have been watching lesbian porn. My 10-year-old at the time wouldn't have been watching lesbian porn. And I wouldn't have had to have an unbelievable, oh, well, she probably would have on another site, but she wouldn't have done it on YouTube. Because had I known restrictive mode existed, I would have flipped that bitch on. Because most kids don't even know it's there because it's at the bottom of the screen. You can easily just pop it off, pop it on. But I would easily pop that on. Why? Because even the stuff that might be getting hit that probably shouldn't be getting hit, it's a small percentage in comparison to all of the potentially dangerous shit that is out there. Case in point, the big thing that's come out of this is found out that YouTube has overlooked terrorist-related videos on YouTube, not taking them down. That would be one thing. But these are monetized. These are monetized videos, and there's a lot of them. It's not a small amount. Wish I had the actual number in front of you, but I just barely read this story a little bit before I went on Tommy's show a little bit earlier, which we had a great show, by the way, over at Tommy C's SFTP. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But basically, the gist of it goes like this. There are terrorist videos, ISIS-related, other terrorist organizations related on YouTube that are promoting that lifestyle, that ideology, hate, violence, all of that stuff. All the things that we're supposed to be fighting against. But not only is it on YouTube, they're monetized, meaning they're making money from YouTube's advertisers, which are the real only bosses of YouTube. That's a problem. That's a big problem, and one that YouTube needs to be very active in getting rid of, because there's already steps being taken by advertisers to speak out against it. Now, more than likely, all the advertisers that have started to pull advertising from YouTube, McDonald's, a whole bunch of things in England. England is the big one right now, the big country that is pulling a lot of advertising from Google at the moment. It's probably an idle threat. It's probably something that advertisers do to make sure that YouTube takes notice. And I'll bet dollars to donuts that YouTube is taking notice, because they can't have even a small percentage of advertisers go on and pull out. Because once you become the ugliest girl in the room, which YouTube easily could become if enough of these people pull out, well, the same thing that's been true for everybody else, every creator, everybody that's on the platform, will be true for YouTube itself. Now, I'm not saying that there is a successor in the streaming community that could replace YouTube, but I think that there's enough options out there to where somebody industrious enough could make it go to put a major dent and change the way YouTube is viewed. And this is the wrong time for it. YouTube has goals, man. YouTube is trying to change the way the game is played, man. YouTube is going for friggin' YouTube TV. They are trying to compete with the big boys in media. They're trying to become a legitimate media source. They're doing it with skinny packages. They're doing it with promoting some of their stars who are starting to cross over. The fact is, YouTube is changing. It's becoming a next big form of media. And for them to be able to do that, they need the advertising revenue. To have the advertising revenue, they have to take some of these things very seriously. Maybe in some cases overreact. And let me tell you something else. This is exactly why restrictive mode is so important. In fact, maybe it needs to be tightened down even more, because obviously some stuff is still getting through the cracks. And that's a big problem. All this stuff about the LGBT community and things like that, those are potential social justice problems that ultimately don't lead to a whole hell of a lot other than maybe some hurt feelings. But the fact is that if terrorist organizations are making money by posting videos that are potentially influencing people globally to join their cause, and also making money off of advertising revenue, the same advertisers that are posting ads on this very video, well, there's a problem there. And no advertiser should like it. That's the thing. These are the type of fuck-ups that YouTube cannot afford. That's a problem. That's a problem. So we'll see how it goes down the line, but we will see what happens with it. But the bottom line on the restrictive stuff is this. As long as it's optional, I don't care. As long as it's optional, it does not matter to me one iota. And if it matters to you as a content creator, you got two options. One, bitch about it, complain about it, and see how far that takes you. Or if you are truly concerned about how you're viewed, maybe think about changing your content. Maybe think about changing how YouTube views you, because there's a lot of people who aren't restricted because they play within the rules. Maybe we don't. Maybe you need to think about that if that's something you want to do. I'm not telling you to change your content, but you certainly could. The option's there. If it matters that much to you, read the guidelines, go through it, find out why you're being restricted, and simply change it. Because YouTube's not changing it, nor should they. If you have a lot of fuck, shits, balls, cocks, cunts in your videos, if you do things that are questionable, maybe if you just talk about mature content, which I think that we can all agree that gay and lesbian, any type of thing like that, sexual things, even in relationship advice, I think regular dating advice videos, straight dating advice videos should be friggin' restricted because it's not suitable for kids. It's mature content. It is. They can't understand it. New age culture, if all big people stop going on about this and whining about it, and people hopping on a bandwagon talking about it for views will go away. No, that's not true at all. That's a really stupid fucking way of looking at it. Yes, ignore the problem because historically, ignoring a problem, it always goes away. No. Talking about it and creating a dialogue and making and calling out where the bullshit is and trying to get it fixed is the only way anything gets fucking done. Thank you for your donation, but I vehemently disagree with you. I mean, ridiculously disagree with you. No, man, you've got to talk about it. You got to be open about it. And look, this whole, once again, trying to shut me down because I'm talking about it for views. No, I'm talking about it because it's fucking interesting to me. I don't do a whole hell of a lot of drama on this channel, but this is interesting because once again, if you go back since I've changed to a drama channel, I talk about the things that could affect all of us because that is what is interesting to me. Not something that might affect a group that I'm not even associated with. I don't care about that. That's a social justice problem for a social justice person. I am not that guy. But I do care about these problems on YouTube that go higher than that alienate all creators. That's a problem to me. Everything else can be sorted out through inner workings and bickering. But no, to ignore these problems, to let anybody go ahead and run roughshod and do whatever they want, advertising-wise, restrictive-wise. Look, I think it's a good thing that restrictive mode has been called out. I don't even think it's a bad thing. I think the people that overreacted to it, they may have even done a good thing because it allowed YouTube to defend the restricted mode, and the people who are defending YouTube defend it in a good way and kind of explain what's really going on. Yes, that's even a little bit of a congratulations to Keemstar, who got the story kind of wrong in a lot of ways. At least he hasn't produced what he said he was going to produce to be able to show conclusively that this is going to be happening to all YouTube and it will no longer be optional. As long as it's optional, who gives a flying fornication at the end of the day? But the fact is, because those people overreacted to it, now everybody has been able to go do some research, find out the reality, and it's not that scary. It's parental controls. That's it. So what are we freaking out about? The advertising thing with the terrorist stuff, that's a lot more scary to me. That's a hell of a, because that's a game ender. That's over. It's over. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take some calls, man. I want to hear from you guys on this topic or anything else that you might have. Calling on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or of course that number, 702-751-2902. Let's take our first caller of the night, 323. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Nigga.
Yo, you're so cool. Hey, you got it. Hey, dumbass. Check it out, man. Do you have anything intelligent to say?
Nigger, bitch.
Nothing?
Nigger.
Wow, you're sad. Well, sad. I love it. He was a pussy. He couldn't talk to me. I was going to give him a chance to talk. Show your friends how cool you really are. And you hear him hesitate, then just go back into, I'm so edgy. I'm so cool. Grow up. Come on. Yeah. Restrictive mode shouldn't exist. Good God. Nick, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
What's up, man?
What's up,
So,
Nick the Grip?
How come nobody bitches about Netflix and about WWE Network? Everybody has restrictions for kid zones. Why is it such a big deal?
Well, there is a difference. Netflix, WWE Network, people are not actively uploading and they're not invested financially into the success of their videos. On YouTube, we are. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for people to get up in arms because it is our money. This is fucking with our money. I mean, now maybe not to the scale that it was originally being reported, but it is screwing with our money. And I think people have a moral and financial obligation to, or self-preservation at the very least, to be looking into what's going on their platform. So no, I think that's the difference between the parental controls on all the other services.
But I mean, straight LGBT, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're talking about anything sexual or anything about, you know, like you said, dating advice or any of that shit,
all of it
kids shouldn't be watching that.
I 100% agree. I just don't. I don't see what where's the up in arms. Okay, well, my gay friend, I actually got this criticism earlier. My gay friend has a vlog talking about his dating life, and that's restricted. You think that's right? Yes, he's talking about his dating life. Why would you want that advertised to children? I don't want my kid looking at that shit. I don't care if it's gay, straight, fucking bestiality.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter.
I don't care if you're doing your pillow. Kids don't need to hear about it. Like,
and again, it's optional. It's optional. Right. It's a switch. Right. Turn on or turn off. It doesn't have to apply. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, that was basically all I had for you. I was also wondering though if you're going to be doing a Raw thing.
I put up for the vote because honestly, the reason why I even did the vote, because I was like 100% sure that everybody was going to choose live reaction, Raw live reaction. And it didn't happen because the wrestling content has been a little bit stronger here lately. I've been doing a little bit more, once again, because as we're getting closer to WrestleMania, I'm getting my interest piqued once again. So I thought for sure it was going to win, and it didn't. And so I'm doing this. So I don't know if I'm going to do Raw or not. It all depends if I don't burn out.
Gotcha.
We'll see.
Well, then can I ask you one wrestling question?
Yes, sir.
Is that allowed?
Go ahead, please.
All right. What are the odds of triple threat with Roman, Braun, and Taker in Mania? Because it seems like it's inevitable now.
Yeah, it seems like it's a very good possibility, and that makes me start to question how healthy Taker is. When Roman got shit whipped last week, that didn't happen for no reason. Yeah, could it be just for one more match tonight or next week on Raw between Roman and Braun? Maybe, but I doubt it. It seems like.
But WWE, and they do things so protected. They are on every little detail. To say that it was an accident that Taker came out and confronted Braun instead of, you know,
I don't buy it.
Having Braun leave first. There was no way that was an accident.
Here's the thing. I think somebody screwed up the audio. I do. I think somebody did screw up that audio because it was so awkward. Why? It seems so weird because if you were going to do a Braun angle, why make him walk away? I think what we saw last week with Braun shit whipping Roman is a response to that mistake. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, but also Braun stepped away from Big Show because he fights on his terms, and then when he got in the ring with Big Show, he beat the fuck out of him.
I know, I hated that. It is not, but he hasn't followed up on Taker yet, so we'll see. No worries.
So it really makes me think we're getting this triple threat, which would suck. Because then I really think that Braun is too green. I really do. I think he's a hell of a talent, but I think he's too green to carry the match. So Roman's going to be working the entire match.
Roman's going to work the entire match, but I think because of having The Undertaker in there as a spectacle, I think there's enough between Roman and Braun to kind of make it interesting. And then if Taker can do some of the things that make him Undertaker enough and he can be protected, I think everything's gonna be fine. I think it'll work out better than just Taker and Reigns. Because let's face it, that match was gonna be a shit show. So we'll see. Well, let me get some other callers.
Very least.
Go ahead. One more thing. Hurry up.
One more thing. At the very, very least, Braun needs to win that because if Roman beats Braun and Taker and he's not heel, he's dead.
No, Taker needs to win that match. Taker needs a pin. I think Taker is gonna end up winning that match any way that we slice it, and I think that he's gonna pin Roman. I think we're going to start to see a different direction of Roman Reigns, ultimately leading to him being the top guy. That's what I think is going to happen, but we'll see. All right, Nick, you have yourself a good night, buddy.
All right, take it easy.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take some more calls right here live on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, the number 702-751-2902. We're not going to Discord because Discord's all fucked, but we are here. Let's go ahead and get to The Gaming Fault, Rodimus8 on Twitter, Gaming Fault here on YouTube. My good buddy, the man from Scotland with the accent you'll never understand, but he's so fucking charming that he'd slip a roofie in your drink and you thank him for it. What's going on, Will Dillon? You're live with Dead on Dave. Oh, come on. Oh, man. I gave him such a good intro and it didn't work out. That's unfortunate. 646, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
You're a fucking fog.
Yeah. Good job. Congratulations. 405, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Doing fine. Sorry about that. My phone has been fucked up in a couple of days. My apologies from that.
No worries, man. What you got for me?
Yeah, it's about YouTube.
Yeah.
It's been, what, it's almost, since what? Before the 2016 end and all that shit?
Yeah, right. It's
Can
been...
we just step up and do something about it? Or what's your thought?
What do you mean? Do what about what? What needs to be done about, and what needs to be done about?
About YouTube.
What needs to be done?
About what? Oh yeah, about what having issues about losing subscribers or what's going on, this and that.
Well, who needs to step up?
All of us or something like that.
Well, what do we need to do? I mean, it's easy to say step up, but at the end of the day, what do we need to do? All we can do as being creators is try to create the best content that we're able to do. I think if we stop trying to kill each other all the time, it might help, because I believe a big reason why YouTube is losing subscribers is the fact that we're a bunch of whiny bitches who continue to have the exact same petty, stupid fights that people just simply stop caring about. I think that might have something to do with it, but I'm not 100% sure. As far as stepping up and fixing the problem, well, it depends on what problem we're talking about. Because while I do think there are some problems with YouTube, ultimately, I think YouTube is not all that bad. It's more of the problem with some of the users, if anything else. It's the whiny bitches.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Anything else for me?
That's
buddy?
all I got.
All right, man.
No, that is all.
All right, have yourself a good night. I appreciate the call.
You too.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I enjoy hearing from all you guys. I want to hear from each and every person. I also would like you guys to hit the like button if you've yet to do so. Go to my merch store, www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com, while it still exists, because it ain't going to be around much longer, because Pro Wrestling Tees is coming, baby. We're going. It's going to be great. And we're going to have brand new merchandise designed by SparxyDriod, and maybe a couple other designs that I've been talking to some people about making as well. So a lot of excitement. Hopefully you're going to be joining me there. I will have more information for you as soon as that happens.
What the hell is up with this?
Will,
Sorry, Dave.
No, it's okay,
Sorry,
Will.
dude, something's up.
Can you hear me? God damn it, Will. That time you interrupted my show. Will Dillon's having all kinds of problems. Hopefully you guys will check out that merch store, and you'll also, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, because we've just hit 8,200 subscribers for the 6th time. We're not staying over 82 very long, but we're getting there. And then we go back down, then we come back up, we go down and come up, do the hustle. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. Vegetables erection. Dave, you have a disgusting haircut. Why are you looking at my pube haircut, son? Don't be looking at my pube haircut. Talking about my pubes. Pyoxys. Yes, I can finally buy a Dead on Dave exclusive pocket pussy. I fucked it. I fucked it 3 times, and it's amazing. Changed my religion. In fact, I bought a second one. It'll be here this week. I'm a pocket pussy pimp. It's my wife's fault she won't fuck me. I don't care. I'm proud of it. Let's take some more calls on Skype. David Ventura, DAVIDVANCURA on Skype. And of course, 702-751-2902. Go ahead and call in now. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. And if you don't got anything, I'm going to get up out of here, suckles, because I'm tired. Triple Gert, you bought another? Yes, I did. The first one's name is Beth. I haven't named the second one The second one's a little more graphic. I stepped it up a little bit. I went a little extreme. Don't worry about it. That's my business. Okay. Darius, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Well, okay, I just need to unmute the stream. Or mute the stream.
Yeah.
All right. So you were talking about how, what's his name? Roman Reigns could possibly become a main eventer and everything.
Well, that's
how
the
do you
plan.
feel?
It's still the long-term plan.
Yeah. How do you feel about the way the WWE's handling push? Oh my God, I can't say it. In the past couple of years, like with I don't know, Kofi Kingston, when he just suddenly stopped getting a push because he botched up a move with Orton, and then Orton just told him off.
It all comes down to situations. Kofi had a ceiling anyway. I don't.
Yeah.
I honestly, I never saw Kofi as a main eventer. I don't think most people did either. It's just a matter of opinion on that, I guess. With other guys, they get the push right. With some, they don't. Look, for the last 3 years, they've mishandled Roman Reigns' push. There's no question about it.
Yep.
But the fact is, how much have they really? He's not getting no reaction. He's getting the loudest reaction of the night outside of John Cena. Nobody gets a louder reaction than Roman Reigns. And is it coincidence that both of them are mixed reactions? You know, it's kind of funny, isn't it? He's still selling the most merch in the company. He's not doing all that bad. Yes, would we like to see him become a little bit better in the ring, at least more consistent? Sure. But people really quickly forget some of the matches that he has had with the likes of John Cena, AJ Styles, and others over the past year. That's because he had some really bad moments too, and I think that's a fair criticism.
Oh, yeah.
However, I think that there's an opportunity to turn the page a little bit. Same thing Xavier Woods did. Oh, thank you. But hopefully they can turn this chapter and go to something else and maybe position him to be just an unbelievably badass heel, starting with a loss and subsequent attack of The Undertaker. That's what I'm hoping for.
I think.
Are you masturbating in the background? What is that fapping sound?
No, that's okay. That's from basketball. For the mini hoop. Yeah.
Why are
my
you playing
brother was
it? Oh, your
with
brother.
it.
Smack your brother in the head. Smack him. Smack him right in the head. Just do
Garrett,
it.
you're a
It's okay.
dummy.
Don't hit your brother. I'm just kidding. I'm not
Yes.
I'm not advocating brother on brother violence of any nature. In fact, go buy your brother a candy, a lot of candy. I'm so old. Go buy him a candy. All right, Darius, you got anything else for me, buddy?
I think putting a little D&D reference in, the way YouTube is chaotic neutral.
You like that?
They don't give a damn about morals anymore. It's just, can they get money and can the advertisers be friendly? Like,
to an extent, I think there's a little bit more to that, but yeah, I think that they care when they want to care, and then when they do, they're chaotic neutral. It is what it is. Darius, thank you very much, buddy.
all right, have a good one.
You too. Let's keep this train rolling, just like Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox did. Kirsty Graham, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey Dave, two little things if that's okay.
Of course, you can have two little things. I was gonna go dirty there, but I decided not to. And it's okay. I'm feeling good. I'm being taken care of by my rubber lovers, so it's okay.
Not one, but two.
I bought a
potentially
second one.
soon.
It's coming, and it may or may not have boobs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
a little
wow, I
serious
wouldn't-
with it.
I kind of want to see this one. I'm
Pretty
not going to lie.
special. It's pretty special. It's pretty special. It looks like I'm gonna be like having sex with a quadruple amputee, but
How do you say, would you not be just better getting a blow up doll at this point?
you know what? I think we're working to it. If I ever make enough money, I'm pretty sure I will, because, man, let me tell you, pocket pussies are kind of awesome. Pretty amazing.
Not
I haven't
gonna
come
lie.
like this in years. Years, like a straight
seen-
decade.
Very upbeat lately, and it's since you've got that pocket pussy, and I'm like, Dave's happy. Dave's real happy.
I had a really bad week last week. I mean, I took the day off yesterday because the reality is last week was horrible. Other than getting to have sex with my rubber lover, I had a really bad week. Just awful, man.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. It is what it is. We all go through it. And now this week, everything seems to be, what's a Scottish term for all good?
Oh, I don't. All gravy.
There you go. That's Scottish. What do you got for me, Kirsty?
First of all, like, being a part of the LGBT community, being bi, I think for the most part, people are just really tired of constantly, it feels like a backhand every time something like this happens. But again, if it's optional, those parents, for children, those parents probably weren't going to let their children watch anyway, so it's not like anybody's going to be missing out. So I do see everybody's point of it being a major overreaction. But I can see it from both sides. Being bi, I'd see everything from both sides.
I can understand it being part of that community. I can understand why you can see it as like a little bit of a backhand. But on the other side of that, if you were being oppressed and it was not an option, there would be that's an oppression. When something's being forced upon you, that's oppression. Giving an option because just because now in this, look, the reality is people are more equal now. And I know that you could say that in almost any given time period. People are more equal now worldwide than they've ever been in spans of human history. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's how progression works. So it's kind of a stupid statement to say that, but it's still true regardless. And even with that being said, that doesn't mean thought control. And just because there are people out there who are okay with seeing two guys on the street holding hands or kissing, or there's so much television content that is now geared toward the LGBT community, just because people are now accepting of that to an extent doesn't mean that they have to be okay with it being advertised to their children. You know, it's still alternative lifestyle at the end of the day. And that maybe that's part of the problem for the people in the LGBT community, because it's not alternative to them. That's how they live. So, but it's not how everybody else lives. So it's equality goes both ways, and acceptance goes both ways. So while you want to be accepted, you also have to understand that not everybody's going to be able to just be like, yes, my children should have unrestricted access to all of these things. Instead, just put a little button and allow parents, if they want, to remove that content. I don't see a problem.
Yeah, the way I was thinking about it is most people who, like, most parents I know that like won't let their children watch like LGBT friendly things, probably would be like they're really on top of everything they're watching anyway. So for the most part, they wouldn't have been watching that content anyway. So it's not actually going to make a massive difference. So like, think about it too. As long as it stays optional.
Any dating content, any content that's out there about dating, relationships, love, sex, whether it be straight or gay or bi, I think that should all be restricted, and I believe it is. So I don't really get the overreaction, because that is equality. That's the definition. All relationships, all types of things, I believe, falls under the same category, because it's all mature. And it's not YouTube doing it because YouTube might be against this or that, because I think we have proven time and time again that YouTube is very accepting. They're liberal. It's a liberal-leaning corporation, for Christ's sake. So I think that this is an advertising problem and not a political problem. You know what I mean?
No, I can agree with you there. I think there has been a massive overreaction over the last few days because, like, as I said, I don't think those children shouldn't be watching anyway. But even if, like, they did have a YouTuber who was maybe gay that they liked, their parents, if they had seen it, wouldn't have allowed them to continue watching them anyway. Sure. So I think there has been a bit of overreaction, but I can understand why, like, when things like this happen, it just feels like a massive step back.
I get it. But, I don't know if I think that's an overreactive turn. A massive. I know step
it's
back.
not.
But I get what you're saying.
Not a massive step back. Yeah.
I get what you're saying though. As somebody who's going through, look, I can't relate. I cannot associate, and I'm not trying to. But I can relate as a parent. So, and that's the way that I'm looking at it as a parent of somebody that I've stated many times. I walked in and saw my kid watching lesbian porn.
Yeah,
because she was curious, and I felt as a failure. I failed as a parent, not because she was watching it, because I didn't answer questions properly. I didn't do my job. Yeah. It had nothing to do with her watching lesbian porn. I would have the exact same reaction if it was gay porn or straight porn or animal porn. The fact is, my 10-year-old shouldn't be watching it, and I should have been doing my job. And had I known about that little switch, I would have certainly fucking flicked it. Let me tell you that. So That's the way I look at
Flipped, it's probably not the best term to be using right now.
it. Probably not the best term right now, but you know what? If it gets your nips hard, then it's a win-win all around.
JCB buttons, man.
There you go. Yeah, anything else for Miss Kirsty?
Yeah, the second question is, do you really not think that Roman's winning at Mania? Because I have this sinking feeling that he really, really is, and I'm really concerned about it, and I think everybody's going to flip out, but I'm really... Because apparently next Mania is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman for the title, and the only reason I can really see that being plausible at a Mania is if Roman wins at this Mania. And the more that comes out about it and rumours and stuff, the more I'm really concerned. I'm like, this is going to go horribly, horribly wrong.
Look, that's the rumor, but if you go back and you look at, because I went and did some research, if you look back to right after and right before WrestleMania last year, that was the exact same rumor for this year's WrestleMania. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And also, there's also counter rumors to the fact that Roman Reigns is supposed to be the big name that's going to SmackDown. So for Raw, and Raw's champion, who will be Brock Lesnar, I think, for a very long time, and SmackDown's Roman Reigns, the SmackDown should be getting Roman Reigns after the draft happens. That means Roman would have to win the Royal Rumble again. And I may not be sure of a whole lot of things in this world, but no matter what happens between now and then, Roman Reigns, they're not going to do they're not having it. After the troll they did this year, they're not having him win it next year. No fucking way. No.
I mean, I can see your point there. I just, for some reason, I don't know if it's just because it's Roman or whatever, but I have a serious feeling that they're going to let Roman win.
It very well could. Very well could.
Yeah.
If Braun is in the match, then I'm going to feel a lot more optimistic because they can protect a loss to Roman Reigns by having Braun simply be in the match. So I think it's going to be a big indication if Braun's in it or not.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, that was all I had for you, man.
Thank you, Miss Kirsty. And I appreciate you giving your insight, being part of that community, because we don't have a whole lot of people who could give us that. So I appreciate that. That's very brave, because not a lot of people are willing to talk about it on a scale like this. I know that we don't have 1 million people in here right now, but we are a pretty tight community over here. And I appreciate you doing that. And thank you for bringing some perspective to the situation. Okay.
No problem. Thanks, love.
Have a good night, Dal. Good stuff, Kirsty Graham. Triple Gert in the chat says, speaking of oppression, I love the Rush quote on Tommy's stream earlier. Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it? I don't get a lot of those. I had a lot of fun being back on Shopping Point today. That was great. I see Lord Vega in the chat. I see Triple Gert, Pip Scott, Lynn McCod, Vegetables Erection, who was talking shit about me. Fuck that guy. Pip Scotland. Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, my good buddy. He's here as well. Of course, he does all the music. He did 2 fantastic songs last week. 32 bars. Just straight rapid fire. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. They're doing very well on the YouTubes on his channel. Go check him out. We're going to try this again. Let's see if we can get the gaming fault here on YouTube. Rodimus8 on Twitter, my good buddy. That suave debonair Samayambach, Will Dillon. What's up, pal?
Hey, Dave, can you hear me okay now?
I can. How are you?
I'm okay. Sorry about earlier on. I've got the new recording device and it's changed all my audio settings, but it's fixed now. Basically, Dave, I agree with you on the age restriction on the parental side. The reason I agree with you, dude, and like you said, if you know about it, it's the same scenario my mum had. My 4-year-old niece loves watching YouTube. That's like her little thing. She loves watching, just like the people play with the toys, silly stuff. But she started watching makeup stuff. Lo and behold, what does she come across? Waxing. And I'm talking about full frontal nudity waxing.
Yeah.
She found it, and my mum didn't know what to do, so I showed her the age restriction, turn it on, she'll never see this again, because it's not the kid's fault. It's my mum was panicking because she's like, oh no, she's seen this. It's like, look, mum, it's okay. Why it's on YouTube, I don't know, because it's like full frontal, dude. You see everything. And I was
link me to that site, girl.
I was like, yeah, look, mum, it's cool. Look, you can turn it off. She'll never see this again.
Yeah.
And I like yourself, dude, I do think some parents out there don't know about this. Like
It's a
for
good
things
tool.
like that.
It's a parental device. What's the problem here ultimately? Look, talk to me again, motherfuckers, when this is no longer optional. Talk to me then. Then we have something to talk about. But honestly, right now, I think the fact that people have kind of set the record straight on it, the job is done. The job's over. The only reason why I even did a video on it at all is because it's something that's been bubbling up and I've been wanting to talk about it. I didn't do a show last night, and I wanted to talk about it tonight because I find this interesting. And I don't think that everybody was looking at it from the exact same narrative that I've been kind of proposing during the stream. So I wanted to be represented too. I wanted to be included. I'm inclusive. Don't exclude the fat bearded wonder. What else you got for me, Willie?
No, that's all I've got, dude. But it was to agree with you because same kind of scenario stuff on YouTube.
Well, I appreciate that, and I love your face. You know that? I love your face, and I want to give you some props, man. You, Grand Slam 87, or now, excuse me, Huffman's Hangout, Mr. Jeff Huffman himself, Aeon, some other people.
C-Man.
Yeah, C-Man,
Tambo
Computing, all you muzzer fuzzers. You went and had a fairly epic stream, I believe.
Yes.
So congratulations on that, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
No problem.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
Right. Thank you, Dave. Bye.
No problem. Take it easy, buddy. We are taking your calls live right here on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And, of course, that number, 702-751-2902. We're going to take them calls. Haven't been on Skype in a while, man. We've been using a lot of Discord, but Discord sucked diddly yuck Flanders. So we haven't been able to take it. But now we're here back on Skype because we can. We can be. So there you go. Chris Crampsey in the chat says, it's a good thing. My channel is filtered. I don't care. I'd rather 16 plus watch my content considering kids under 10 would have it on. Yeah. Well, yes. Yes. And again, optional. Optional. Maybe I'm saying the word wrong. Optional. Brian Finnegan in the chat says, people need to relax about the restriction stuff. Relax. Take a breath. And realize it's not that big of a deal. Nobody is restricting you. You're getting an option. Hit the button or don't. Not worth it. I agree with you, Brian. Golf clap for Brian. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Everybody needs to go ahead to the ASMR and relax. I'm going to talk to you. We're going to have a conversation. And I'm going to go ear to ear. And I think that I'm going to touch your faces. All of your faces. Because we all just need to relax and calm the fuck down. It's okay. I'm going to stroke your face and caress your body. I'm going to caress your body. That's why I'm restricted. That's why I'm restricted, Lorenzo Echeverria. Yeah, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
I'm trying to reiterate what I said earlier. It's New Age culture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
So what I'm saying is people need to stop basically trying to overreact to this.
Yeah.
So like, because it's like they're saying that, like, oh, YouTube's over, all this other bullshit. So like, they basically need to stop scaring people.
No, I think it's good that they're trying because they're failing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think when you create something that ultimately fails, it makes the site stronger. Don't you think? I mean, when you get a false narrative, Tommy C, stomped out vehemently, it makes the correct argument stronger. It highlights the real. And if anything, there's a lot of people who do believe that there's major problems with YouTube and the party might be over. So it's a good thing that hopefully a percentage, even if it's a small percentage of these people, got enough information to maybe change their minds on that. Maybe a few of them are in this stream right now going, what am I going to do without the YouTubes? It's all over, damn it. And then they hear me talk as eloquently as I possibly am able to, which is, varied on what you believe, good or bad. And they're like, hey, wait, this makes sense. Maybe optional restriction isn't the worst thing in the world. And they calm the fuck down. So I don't have a problem with people bringing it up, man. I don't.
Yeah, so just tone it down a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anything else for me?
No, that's it.
All right. Hey, I appreciate that. You have yourself a good night. Lorenzo Echeverria. I got your name down. Nailed it. Take it easy, buddy. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
I purposely didn't say his name because I didn't want to dox him. So that was not me messing it up. I just didn't want to say his real name. That's my thought. I'm sticking to it. We got a couple more callers I see calling in. Go ahead and jump on in. Let's take the Dankest Meme Master. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got? Dankest Meme Master. You got a pussy on your screen and I want to hear from you. What you got?
My main question is this have a comment, like, thing? Like, it disables hurtful comments and stuff in the YouTube section? Because I think that's part of the problem that these people are having that need to use this restricted mode. Because they don't want, like, younger children to see hurtful comments and all this.
Well, from what I understand, those are two separate issues. Those are two separate functions. I don't think it has anything. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna answer your question in the stream because your microphone is really, really staticky. So I'm gonna answer your question. You can watch the stream and I'll give you my full answer. Okay, buddy? Great question, by the way. Fantastic question. Yeah, I want to go ahead and talk about that without all that static in the background. It's two separate issues. I don't think one necessarily controls the other. I don't think the restrictive mode necessarily hits the comment section for non-channels or channels that are non-restricted. So obviously you're not going to be able to watch or read the comments of the channels that are already being restricted, but it doesn't go and eliminate what would be considered restrictive comments on non-restricted videos, if that makes sense. It's not like the Twitter thing that's about to take place where you can choose specific words that will not be shown and those comments will be completely deleted. You never have to worry about them again. That is not implemented on YouTube as far as I know, but it very well could be coming depending on how well it works on Twitter. Yeah, I don't think the restricted mode has anything to do with the comment section on non-restricted videos. But obviously you won't be able to watch or read those comments from the restricted videos, if that makes sense. All right. Good question, though. Very, very good question. All right. I think that's about going to wrap it up. I think we've hit everybody. I think we've done a good job. I think we've laughed a little. We've cried a little. We've grown a little inside a little. Every time it hurts to say goodbye. Hope you guys have had a fun time on this episode of Dead on Dave Live. We've taken some calls, we've answered some questions, we've had a good time, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And I'm not sure what I'm doing the rest of the night. I might do Raw because it is an hour earlier for me, so that means Raw is going to be on in 3 hours. Maybe I'll just decide to stay through it. And if I do, I will set a link. If not, I will watch it first thing in the morning. And I will do some kind of quick video on it, probably, maybe, perhaps. If not, you will be seeing some Pokemans tomorrow, because I haven't played in a few days. And here's the deal. I'm still playing Ash Gray. I started a brand new game, but I have the old save as well. But I started a brand new game, and I'm playing it much better, and I'm pretty far, and we're going to continue to play on that, I think, when I go live next time with Pokemon Ash Gray. And I'm also going to drink a lot. I need a drink. I desperately do. There you go, kids. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Drop a like on the way out, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, Jeff the Huff Huffman over at Huffman's Hangout. I don't know why I'm laughing. I named it. Tommy C's SFTP, and so many friggin' more. Andre Corbeil. Andre Corbeil, my good friend. That's it. We'll see you next time. And peace. I'm gonna have sex with my pocket pussy, Beth.